another episode of the Down by Two podcast, brought to you by Crier Media. Visit crier.co for all things DB2 and sports-related content, and by Yup Beer, now with their brand new Pilsner. Make sure you check them out. Yeah, that's right. Check them out at yupbeer.com and at a beer store near you to find out all about their new Pilsner, which is absolutely crushable. I'll take a little swig of it myself right now. Glug, glug, glug.
Nice. I haven't tried that one yet.
Tastes like a pills. Tastes like a pills, baby. What's going on? It's your host, Josh Elijah. Been a goddamn minute. Been a minute. It's been, I think, we took 3 weeks off. We thought we were going to take one off from the show for the bachelor party, but it turned out to be a 3-week hangover. And obviously to my left over here, Jesse McKay, aka Birdman. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Why don't you tell everyone what you were just up to?
No. I'm running a little bit behind here. I just went to go see Shania.
Shania who?
Yeah. Shania Twain, Miss Twain, Mrs. Twain. So what's it like, Mrs. Twain?
Some people might not know who just Shania is. Like, Shania, like the neighbor. No. I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, she basically is for one night only. I just snuck out to my backyard and went and checked out a show. Yeah. Okay. So, you know what? Before we get into it, I think we gotta bring our homie on. This guy is he's a dear friend of ours and a regular and a favorite of the podcast. Give it up for the one, the only Master Aldworth. How you doing, buddy?
Oh my God!
What's going on?
What's going on? Thanks for the intro. That's nice.
Yeah, my boys. I'm sorry. I took my dog for a walk. Okay, stopped off at a little local brewery for a pint. Met up with a couple friends. Was going to make it back over here for the show, but I got a little sidetracked and ended up buying some Shania Twain tickets. So yeah, let's go, girls.
I don't blame you. I'd hop on the Twain train as well.
Yeah, you don't pass up that opportunity.
You don't miss that train, you know.
No, you don't miss the Twain train. And yeah, Amanda's still there right now. So we might get a drunk. Oh, we have a missed call from her actually. Let's see what's going on. Hold on.
Let's
see if she picks up. Yeah, no, she's still there. Hold on.
I can't believe you left, to be completely honest. I'm honored.
I mean, I did want to...
Should have just done the show from the stall.
Oh my God.
Oh, Amanda. Her tits are definitely out right now. Oh my God, this is it. This is the song. Best thing about being
we're getting it live. Yeah.
Oh shit, should I go back? I wonder if I can still get Oh my God. We love you, Mandy. Yeah. So that's what I was just at. And here we are, Down by Two podcast. Dude, it's just like that's the best stuff, man. When you just have something spontaneous that happens like that, you just kind of just end up trying to figure out who your boots have been or what bed they've been under. Or I don't even know the fucking lyrics anymore. Whose boots have your bed been under? Yeah, there.
I was wondering where that was going.
Solid Joe Biden moment.
Just mumbling Joe, Sleepy Joe over here, Sleepy Joe. Oh man, yeah, no, we shouldn't even. We should have postponed this, but anyways, here we are. It's great to see you, boys. It's great to see you. It's been a minute. It's been actually 3 weeks since I've seen you in the flesh. For those of you catching up, we made it back alive barely from the old Punta Cana. Yeah, that was quite a time. there was definitely some liabilities. There was a lot of highs, and then some more highs to follow that as well. Yeah, it was great. It was thank you, boys. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to Jesse as well for organizing everything as well. That was the old Juice man. Yeah, dude, great time. That was honestly
time.
I was met like one of the things that I still have nightmares about is the immediate panic I was met with when my shorts started dissolving in the ocean. And I looked around and I just saw kids everywhere. Like that was it had me shook, dog. Like it was I didn't even know that dissolvable shorts were a thing. And they were, and they worked fast and effectively.
Oh man,
yeah, that company gets 5-star rating for the product. It worked perfectly.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But you know what?
I'll never forget the split and you just going into the water, being like, I can't get on this list in 2 countries.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, and then everyone's just trying to throw me the football, but like giving me high tosses, so I have to jump above water. So my little weenie's out there for everyone to see.
Free Willy,
yeah. my Willy was so free. Yeah. Oh man, that was nuts. And like the dads, the looks I was getting from the dads with their kids, it was just like it was not good. And like, nobody actually brought me a backup pair of shorts. That was
that was
just like nobody thought of this, and I think that's what led to the initial sunburn that really like torched me for the rest of the weekend. It's just not reapplying the suntan lotion, but
was you being straight?
Oh man, yeah, there was a couple liabilities, man. Shout out to our boy Ryan Versalato, V-Man 42069. Blowing a couple tires across the resort. Oh man, dude, it was
looks like an F1 Dominican came through and driving the cart pass of the Bahia Principe. Like, oh man, I guess to give it context, we had a friend whose shoes that he bought at Value Village might as well have been made of F1 tires, and he was just blowing tires left, right. They were disintegrating.
Well, they melted.
So he told me they were like fine Italian leather or something, but I think he was just wasted.
You couldn't.
I think someone fleeced him. I think he got that at a flea market and he got fleeced. That was
yeah, that's what they told him. They're like, no, it's the best Italian leather.
Yeah,
the finest of Italian leather, and they
lasted
like. Well, we lost him so many times, but it was so easy to track him down because he just had skid marks across the entire resort.
Yeah,
like he was just like, oh, there's where he did a cartwheel and tumbled into a bush, and like.
Yeah, you see little pieces of the shoe like in the bush, and you're like, "Yep, he landed there." You're like one of those like trackers back in like the 1600s, like,
oh my god,
looking for where they lost.
Oh my god,
so funny,
dude. Yeah, and that was definitely a highlight to it. That and the spaghetti Yeti, that for me was. I mean, like I feel like I was all over the place as well, but I needed to redeem myself, and I heard the boys were hungry at the pool bar, so I needed to.
They didn't serve food.
So they didn't serve food, and I heard, I'm like, man, I really wish this place served spaghetti. So I went to the buffet and filled up my Yeti that was bedazzled from my lovely fiance, and I grabbed a couple plates of it, and I'm like, I need to get this back to the boys. But instead of just walking out like a waiter with a bunch of plates on my arms, I decided to hand bomb it into my Yeti and bring it back for some poolside service. And like, dude, when some of the boys were slurping it out of the Yeti through the straw, and you just see the noodles flying out, like, oh, that was priceless. It was priceless.
Man, that shit stayed hot too. It was great. Great experience.
Stained the shit out of the canister too.
40 degrees out. Yeah. The joke that kept giving was when it ended up in Juice's bag and he had to bang out spaghetti. Like, you know, when you get to customs or security at an airport and they tell you have to pour out all the liquids in any vessels you have, you had to bang spaghetti out of a Yeti in the fucking Dominican airport. that was just like that was the fucking icing on the cake of what was truly a fucking hazy 3 days. But boys, it was something. Josh, you ended up coming back richer than you left. Doing very well on the roulette table.
Yeah, dude, that goes towards the honey fund. Like, man, it was. What was crazy about it was that the entire board was black, and I hit all of those blacks. It felt like us in Detroit. Like it was like you could not lose. And then the one time I'm like, no, I'm not feeling black. I'm gonna go red. I switched it over to red, and then red hits just once. Just once.
You hit black. What was great? You hit black like 7 times in a row, and then just the one that you changed. Yeah,
the one red.
Incredible.
And then I'm like, no, I'm not feeling red anymore. I'm done. And then I go back to black.
Go back to black.
Back to black another 5 in a row. And then they had eyes on me after that. They're just fuck.
You can see like the management coming out with their arms crossed, just like kind of staring at
pit
us.
Bosses?
And they're like,
The pit boss at the Dominican resort, where if you win $800, you're about to bankrupt it. They're like, fuck,
yeah,
win any more money.
We gotta shut this down quick. We're running out of money.
I ended up a few hundred leaving, but I hit a 0-0 like a fucking moron. That was ridiculous. I was like, I don't know. Fuck it.
Yo, there were a couple boys that actually hit 0-0s.
Yeah, Ryan Doobie did too. Just like, dumb bets. This is the state we were in Dominican. We're throwing
Ryan Doobie on his
$0.
$1.50 bet.
But like
hit on a 0-0.
I was provoking the people at the table though. Yeah. That was the crazy thing because I kept quoting, I think you should leave. I'm like, you sure about that? You sure about that? I'm done. Do what you want. And then they're just like, who is this guy and why is he hitting so many times in a row? I'm like, I was expecting to get escorted out of there, but it was
Send
you guys
Tim Robinson a thank you letter.
I'm done. Oh man, it was a trip to remember and to forget as well, I guess. Because I don't really remember fucking much of it. The only thing I do remember is just the poons that I had after that, if you know what I mean. Jesus Christ, that was
boys
needed some recovery there. But
took a day off work.
Yeah, I'm done.
That is truly done. Fuck.
Oh man. Good times, boys.
Made it out scotch-free, boys. I thought I did. Made it home, and then it was just like couldn't have been sooner after walking in the door.
Hey yo, I didn't puke at all though. I didn't puke. Which
I
me neither.
I thought I was gonna chuff there for a minute, but
chuff.
Didn't do it.
I like that.
Oh, all right.
Here we are, though. We're back, though. In case you guys were worried, we made it back alive. It just needed we just needed a little bit of time to read.
Yeah, we didn't come back right away and record.
Yeah, we actually our flights were delayed by 3 weeks. We're just making it back now. Oh man, but you know we have missed quite a lot, especially when it comes to Toronto sports. This week we're going to break down some of the things that we have missed some coverage on, and that is beginning with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the decision to move forward with our new GM, Mr. Treliving, which is one of the things I want to start off with. We're going to cover just the Leafs' new GM. We're going to talk about Doan. We're going to talk about the decision to keep Sheldon Keefe as well, and then what that kind of looks like for our season to move forward into 2023 and 2024. But that's why we need to have our boy Brad on here, chat some Leafs here. Let's just start off with let's start off with Brad. Well, we won't even venture off into Doan yet, but let's start off with Brad Treliving and what your thoughts are on that decision. Maybe even before we jump into giving Brad the call, were you surprised that we parted ways with Dubas? Give me your thoughts on that, Brad.
I don't know. After coming off the high of obviously getting through a series and then not showing up against Florida. I mean, lots of 1-goal games, but the boys were just falling short out there. You knew that even though you had that success, it still felt like a failure after that. a little let down. I think that something had to happen. Didn't know at what level that was going to be at, you know. You just touched on keeping Keefe. Didn't know if it was going to be, you know, get a whole new back office and a new guy on the bench there. But I mean, Dubas walking, it was kind of just like, I thought it could happen. I think he did I think he did a great job with the Leafs, to be completely honest. He made moves this year that, I mean, like, he put them in position to do what they needed to do. And unfortunately it didn't happen. But I think additions late in the season, like O'Reilly, and just things he did leading up to this playoffs, it was great. I think he did a good job.
No, absolutely. And I think we were disappointed when we saw Dubas, leave, and the way that all ended. I don't know, Jesse, like now that we have moved on and we ended up appointing Brad Treliving as the new GM of the Leafs. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know for me, like, I was a little like, it's kind of the best that's out there right now based on that sort of shift that just happened within a week. So are you happy now with our current GM?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know how much of that was planned. Like, I feel like that was kind of just a spur of the moment decision, which is odd considering they had been planning an extension for the last year. It just seems kind of strange to me. But like you said, once you do that, it's like, okay, well, you have to get the best guy available, and he's the best guy available, right? So you're just working with what you got, right? And it's just another guy that hasn't made it out of the second round, and it's like, is it going to be more of the same? Is it he has a knack for signing guys to long-term big money deals, right? So is he going to do a good job locking up our pending free agents and stuff like that, right? Because you got to give Dubas full credit for basically being handcuffed. Like, I know he signed those deals to the core four, but ever since that day, with an unexpected pandemic hitting and the cap not going up, he's been handcuffed. And I think he's done a tremendous job, like you said, of just tinkering around the edges and doing what you can with the money available. He was constantly changing the bottom six and swapping guys out, and they always did a good job. Like, they were always effective. You're not going to hit every time, but I think for the most part, he did a great job with that. So I'm just really interested to see what Brad does with Auston and Nylander, and if he moves anybody and how the draft goes. Like, I think the next 2-3 weeks are going to be very, very telling of what he does in the future.
Yeah, I think again that it was just a little underwhelming to see. This is the GM that we brought in, and it did feel like sort of off the cusp sort of move, but at the same time, like, he is a seasoned vet when it comes to it. Like, we have some experience that's coming in, but in a sort of sense, it does almost feel like he is sort of just the puppet at this point. And which is why they brought in Shane Doan. And I feel like, instead of Dubas and Spezza, now we have Treliving and Doan. And, especially when bringing in Doan, that does seem a lot like, when it comes to specifically, and let's just address the elephant in the room, is just trying to keep Auston Matthews. And I think that's the direction, because that was the first thing that he did, and it was immediate as well. Let's talk a little bit about Shane Doan and that relationship with Brad Treliving, and what that actually means for the Maple Leafs here.
I think, him coming in as a special advisor. That's so obviously, like, not to discount Shane Doan's work. I mean, in Arizona, he was the chief development of hockey, or development officer of hockey. Obviously, Arizona's a little bit of a dumpster fire right now, but I could see how someone who was a player in the league and obviously is active in like the back office roles in the NHL would want to move to a team like Toronto where there's going to be success. But yeah, do I think that he's brought in because of his relationship with Auston Matthews and the Arizona connection and everything? Like, it's a hard thing not to address. I mean, it's kind of glaring. Brad Treliving coming in, I think, like, I don't know. Yeah, he's a puppet until like, or you feel like he's just the guy that we went out and got. And I think sometimes with a shakeup like that after 4 or 5, what should have been in a lot of people's eyes better years, it's easy to feel like that until he does something, until he signs a Matthews. Obviously, that's like he comes in. That's where the focus has to be right now, is on an extension that's going to make sense for the Leafs. And then he's got a lot of other things to deal with too. So it's kind of like trial by fire. This isn't. It's almost easier to go to a team like Arizona, take that over and try to do something because no one's going to blame you too much if it fails. But walking into a situation that's as active as the Leafs are, I feel for the guy for sure. It's not easy.
No, it's definitely not going to be easy, and especially like as soon as he comes in, I feel like a lot of Toronto media is thinking like, oh, he's the Matthews whisperer. Like they've had a relationship for quite some time. Apparently, Matthews and Doan's been skating with him since Matthews was like 16.
Yeah.
And there's definitely been a huge relationship for that, and he feels like he's like, oh, okay, yes, there's a lot more for me to be able to offer to this team. Other than me just being that guy to try and help sign him and keep him here for a long-term period. So, I mean, I don't know. Jesse, do you think that like this will help? Do you think that's what he's there for, or do you actually see him having more of a pivotal role? Because I know that you're really high on Doan when it comes to this.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at him as a player, and he only ever played for one team, and I think he brings that kind of loyalty and like almost like a father figure. Like, I know he doesn't need to be that, but I think that is a clear message by bringing him in. And like, it doesn't hurt, like I loved Spezza, but Spezza is just obviously going to follow Dubas wherever he goes. And
yeah,
you gotta bring in a guy that Auston has a relationship with, just you got to do everything you can. And, as a new GM, like, you have no relationship with this player. So it's just it's just an advantage that you can have in your arsenal, right?
Totally. I feel like it's just one more thing to add to the pile of Matthews has said he's said in the recent past that he like loves playing in Toronto, wants to play there. I think that they all, like most guys, say that unless they're obviously very clearly unhappy somewhere. But you're just bringing, like you said, you just have this new GM who doesn't have a relationship with the guy. You gotta show that you're making an attempt to make him feel comfortable and get him to put pen to paper here. Like, yeah.
Well, when you really think about it, what are his other options? Obviously, like there's going to be so many different. Anybody in the league is going to want him, obviously. But like when you think about it, and you put yourself in Auston Matthews' shoes, like what are your other destinations that are going to be top 3 for you, other than staying in Toronto?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be after
what market, because you can't go back to Arizona because Arizona might not be there for that opportunity. Like it could be
work out in the parking lot.
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, Arizona's got the cap space. They're barely hitting the floor, so
they can afford it.
They can afford it, but
yeah,
it would definitely be like
the stadium I was just watching Shania
market, right?
is bigger than where fucking the Arizona Coyotes play. So it's
by far.
It's nuts. But like really, I mean, if you think like, do you think he's a big market kind of guy? Like if he isn't going to stay with Toronto, where would he
I
go?
would say.
What is going to be a good fit? Would maybe the Kings? Would you think maybe the LA Kings or the Rangers? I don't know, but they got too much on the books themselves. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, then the Kings just moved Cal Peterson to clear up $6 million because they're strapped, and I'm pretty sure that the Rangers are tight too.
The
So
Rangers
yeah.
are-
yeah, but I mean, if it's even a possibility, you're gonna make the moves to free up that space, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you're Auston, like obviously you're looking at the cap situation and you're like, why would I sign max term in Toronto? You know, I personally think it's going to be another short deal.
Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But what does that ticket kind of look like?
Fuck, no idea, man. I mean, probably like in between 3 to 5 years, I would say.
Yeah.
As for the money term, I don't know.
A 3-year, I think it's gonna, if he signs right now, it's gonna be like a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
But it kind of like, I feel like it'll even the playing field too. I feel like there's lots of big names around the league that might, be at an age where that's the best option too. Sign into something bigger, and look for success. I mean, like shit. Like, so he goes to LA. I mean, LA was a great surprise this past season, but well, maybe not quite like a surprise, but they had a great run, and he could really change an environment like that. But do you want to see this thing through and try to do what they've been trying to do for the past, 5 seasons, 6 seasons? Like, yeah, it's hard to say what's in the mind of the player versus, on paper. So,
I mean, like it's a huge question mark, but yeah, sorry, go ahead there.
I was going to say he might set the precedent for like guys his age and contracts moving forward.
Absolutely.
For these types of deals, like just doing the more like NBA style deals where it's 5 years, right? Instead of the 8-year. The 8-year deal is like a very hockey thing.
Yeah.
Where you you do it with the team that drafted you and you're there for your prime and that's it. But I feel like if
there's hockey and there's
if
baseball
he does it,
that does like insane amounts of
yeah,
years.
right. Yeah.
Baseball's got the way more money when it comes to shelling out these insane contracts. So yeah, the 8-year deal, it's kind of insane when you really think about it.
It
That
is.
commitment.
So I don't know. I feel like if he goes that route, like I feel like a lot of people are gonna look at that and be like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like none of these like those
standard.
New Jersey deals that just went through the Jesper Bratt and Jack Hughes, like those guys are locked up on bargain deals for their whole career, basically, like
yeah.
I'm sure guys like that are gonna look at that and be like, shit, maybe I should have just done a short term, like even half that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, now we're talking question marks when it comes to, the future of some of our players. And even when it comes to the big four, what does the rest of our offseason kind of look like? What's going on with old willy nilly and like Bird, I know that you would love to see Marner go. I know you would. So like what's you're a fan of that too?
I would keep right now after the postseason performances. I don't know how you can want to keep Marner if we're talking like a Marner or Willie goes. I'm keeping Willie, man. Like, it's not even a conversation.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is that Marner's stock plummeted a bit there. Like, it was not good.
It plummets every year.
It's every year. He's fucking invisible.
Every off season, like the amount of hate he gets is insane, and it's like, well, why is that?
Yeah, it's not just there.
No, it's not made up. You just have to watch the games and you see it. Like,
oh yeah, dude. turnover machine too. Like it's insane.
Really just does too much.
You're playing Chell GM. What do you do? What do you do here? What's the ticket look like for Willie then? And what do you do with Marner?
I don't know. I would do to me. It's hard if you keep Keefe. So they kept Keefe.
They kept Keefe.
I think that's
good call. Good call, by the way.
That's a look too. I agree. I tend to err on the side of this is a good call. The guy isn't. He's a
regular season stud. Like he knows how to win games.
It's like 68.7, like 687 win percentage with the team. In his 4 seasons there, and it's like how can you argue that? I don't feel like he got like guys show up in the playoffs. This is a player thing. Keeping him provides stability for the players that you're trying to live up to the potential that this team could have. I think that there's like a couple fringe, or not even fringe things, just things that I would do in the offseason. I think they need to, obviously, the Matt Murray situation, like Murray's got to get off the books. I think that's a buyout regardless of what they can get for him, or if they can get something for him, great. But with Joseph Wall coming up and showing that he can play minutes and he can play big minutes and be an NHL backup, I think he's the odd man out. I don't even Murray. Samsonov is staying. Murray played 10 games this season, or not even 10 games. Did he play 10? I don't know, but hurt. He just can't do it, and he's riding 4.6 mil into the 24-25 season, and 6.4, and it's going to cost us like 2.5 over the next seasons to buy him out. Like, save the cap space, get rid of the dead weight.
Yeah, man, the guy's TAFE. Like he's just not available at all. Like it's insane. And Joseph Wall, like the guys are high on Joseph Wall, and for obvious reasons. Like he's definitely stepped up. Some have said that he is even the most athletic goalie that the Leafs have, and that's like you see a lot of split time between Samsonov and Wall when it comes to the next season. So Murray. Get rid of him. I mean, that's
not a hot take. I'm sure everyone's on the same page there.
Not at all.
And then I think they need to add some size, and I think they just need to kind of round out the defense. I think a player like TJ Brody could be gone. A defensive guy who doesn't really seem to fit the play. He just I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with him this year in the playoffs or the regular season. I feel like there's some good dudes out there who are free agents this year too. That the Leafs could add some physical presence, some power, or some penalty killing, Susie for the Kraken is a free agent. I think that could be one.
There's some Ryan rumors.
Graves.
Ryan Graves is nice.
Ryan Graves is out there.
Oh yeah.
Just guys who I think can play the physical hockey, but are going to be able to stay in there with the Leafs program. What do you guys feel? This is just I was thinking about their defense and who to keep, who to try to shop for. How do you guys feel about Luke Schenn?
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I want to see him starting out there with Riley next season. The guy was great.
Dog.
So, simple hockey. The dude is just the epitome of textbook. Love it. It's what we need.
Yeah, man. That was, it's so great to see him come back to the squad as well.
Oh, man. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, it was, absolutely key. Yeah, man. Keep him. That is
okay, cool.
Definitely a great acquisition that we made to bring him back as well. I mean, I agree all around. I do like keeping Sheldon Keefe back here as well. Give him the option. If it doesn't work out with him, I mean, I'm sure that they're going to make that move before things start spiraling. I mean, it seems like everyone still is like Sheldon Keefe definitely is in the hot seat. But then again, like I mentioned, he has been really good throughout the regular season. And so I didn't really see, I was really hoping, I'm like, oh man, don't just can him because he's Dubas's guy as well. I'm really glad that they gave him, that they're giving him another chance. And, all in all, for me, I've been a bit conflicted just in this offseason because I know we lost pretty poorly to Florida Panthers. It was not good. 4-1 loss, gentleman's sweep. You hate to see it. But when Florida goes on and then faces the Carolina Hurricanes, and Carolina goes through an absolute buzzsaw, which is the Panthers, and they get embarrassed by the Panthers the way that they did, and the Panthers go off into the go obviously to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then lose to the Vegas Knights in 5 as well. It's just like I really don't feel as bad. I'm glad that we made it past, that we got the monkey off our back with the Lightning. I'm really not as sad as other people are, as other fans are. I think there was a lot of progression that was made, even though we didn't really play the best when it came to that series against the Bolts. But yeah, I really don't feel as bad losing to the Panthers, because they were on one for a bit, and then they ran into their own buzzsaw, which was the Golden Knights. So at the end of the day, I am really excited to see, a lot of the changes that have happened in this offseason, see how they pan out as well when it comes to our head office. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel pretty content. I feel good. I feel like we're going to make the right decisions when it comes to who we keep, and the direction this team is heading in. And ultimately, I'm not too worried about losing Auston Matthews. I definitely think we're going to be able to retain him.
Yeah, I think so too. He's not going anywhere, fellas. Like, I'll just say
Let's
that.
be real, man.
It's just, how long is he going to stay here for? That's the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As for the season, I mean, of course, you got to feel great about getting the monkey off your back, getting through the first round. But then it's just like, coming off the inconsistency and not showing up just crept back in. It's what you come to expect as a Leafs fan season. Not expect, but you just know it's the possibility is there. And to see them not even, if they would have made it more of a series, I feel like maybe it wouldn't have left this like bitter taste in my mouth, a little bit of a bitter taste. Like, seasons of success, but it's just this. It was kind of like the same old bullshit, just in another round.
Yeah. There were some close games that they lost. There were some close games.
I know. They're all one goal games. I could go either way, but it didn't. It just like, again, obviously Florida playing very inspired hockey in the second round. Like, coming off that win against Boston, obviously you're going to be flying high, and you're flying straight into the series with the Leafs. That's going to be a hard role to stop, and the Leafs just couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
I did want to. Is there anyone that you guys just? I was thinking about this with Sheldon Keefe. Is there anyone that you guys thought that they should have maybe taken a look at? One name that comes to my mind is Peter Laviolette. The guy's I feel like one of the best coaches in the like lineage, best coaches in the league. I just thought that would have been the only person I'd be looking at this, or that I would have been looking at had they not made the decision to obviously keep Keefe. But
I did feel like there wasn't going to be an option for the head coach. I didn't feel like they were going to completely clean house, because nobody ever does that right away.
Yeah, like it was
so like
GM, or
if you're doing GM and then you're bringing in Doan as well, you're not going to fucking boot Keefe right out the get go. Like, that's like they're probably going to sit on that. So I felt after that was a kind of a shock, honestly. Honestly, to us as well. So I mean, I didn't think that they were gonna completely go bananas and clean house and do all that spring cleaning. So
the one guy I looked at, which I think would be a favorite here, was Bruce Boudreau. I think he would have been unreal here, and the fan base would have loved him. And he's got a stellar regular season resume, but also a lot of playoff failures.
What we need.
Yeah, but I just think as a guy, he's a Toronto guy. I think he played for the Leafs. Did he not? I don't know.
Boudreau? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
sure.
I think he maybe did. But anyways, that was my pick. If there was going to be anybody.
Yeah.
Did not think there was going to be much of a change though, especially after that news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Here's to the Leafs. Good season. We've made some progress. There's a lot more to be made up as well. So to being a hopeful Leafs fan, you're here.
Baby steps.
Step forward.
That swig was brought to you by Yup Beer. Visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. All right, it's time for DB2 bets. We're gonna wrap this shit up. I only got one for you right now. We're recording this a bit earlier in the week, because we have the NBA draft happening tomorrow, which is Thursday. We're recording this on a Wednesday here, so we're gonna be coming back with you, with an episode to cover the NBA draft and talk about what the Raptors did, whether or not they made any moves, or whether or not they had any sort of trade ups in the actual draft. We'll be covering that next week, so we decided to keep this Leaf centric. So yeah, it being Wednesday, I have no fucking odds for any games that are going on this weekend. Not like there's really much to bet on, but fucking baseball. You know how much we love betting on baseball. But the one bet that I do have is for a little PGA action for you. I got Scottie Scheffler top 5 placing at plus 170. You can find that on the score bet. We have the Travelers Championship happening this weekend. Look, this one's easy. Scottie Scheffler, he's ranked number 1. Why the fuck wouldn't he be able to place top 5? He usually does most tournaments. So, hey, you know what? Pretty decent odds. Go kick your feet up, crack a beer. You deserve it. Watch a few rounds of golf this weekend. I know I deserve it. I'm going to do it. A man is going to yell at me from the other room, but that's fine. That's marriage. Fine. All right. So that's that. It is what it is, sweetie. That's what you signed up for. All right. Daddy's worked hard. He's about to fucking kick his feet up for a bit. Yeah. He's going to throw a couple dimes on Scottie Scheffler. That's what he's going to do. Top 5. Why the fuck not? Hey, you know what? That's the episode. That's it. I'm actually gonna go yell at Alexa and tell her to throw on the best of Shania Twain right now. It's gonna be a time. Yeah, that's it. That's the
camera rolling.
Sayonara. All right. Follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. That's it. Thank you guys so much, Brad. Yo, my dude. Thank you so much for jumping on with us and chatting some skirts.
Always here for a chat, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Birdman, you look great. You look great tonight.
You really do. Blues,
man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I gotta go take a cold shower.